What's going on, nation, and welcome back to another episode here today on the Highland Scotties Teambuilder Dynasty here in College Football 25, as we just wrapped up the regular season and finally found who our national championship winners are, and that is going to be Highland, as they have won the national championship here in the first ever 12-team college football playoff, and they survived. They're able to survive, lucky enough. And now the question is, the true test is, are they going to be able to do that again here this season? Who are going to be the players that we're going to be missing out on, and who is going to be making some changes, some especially big life changes, going to the NFL? And of course, there you see Tariq Barr, our junior, who we're hoping we could try to, hopefully, if he, obviously the rule is when it comes to players here leaving, juniors and seniors especially, if they are guys that are going to be drafted at least in the first 4 rounds, we have to say, without any question, we have to say goodbye to them and let them go. Now, if they happen to be going to be drafted somewhere lower than we think, within the 5th, 6th, or 7th rounds, then we'll keep them. We'll have them come back another year in their junior or senior year, or whatever the case may be, and have them come back and try to try to get a better draft, help them out, try to get a higher draft pick. So yeah, we'll see that here in a bit, later on here in the video here. But as you take a look here, we're looking at some of the coaches' moves here, and you obviously see a lot of coaches getting fired, as well as some are retiring, and some are saying, you know what, I can get a better job and a better deal and better money if I just go off to the NFL. So you see a couple of players here, or coaches here, that are making those decisions, or some of those decisions are being made for them. Yeah, this was a really good season. This game, honestly, it was a little difficult at first, trying to get used to the passing game. I had to take for a while there, we took a bit of a hiatus because I was trying to figure out how to throw the ball better. Because I did not. I mean, some people are like, hey, the interception is not an issue. I'm having problems with interceptions, but I think entertainment purposes wise, and trying to make a decent video, in real life, you don't see even the worst quarterbacks out there. You don't see them throwing, 8, not 8, but maybe 4 to 5 picks a game. That it's just that they're not that bad. Like they're not. If they were, they wouldn't be on scholarship with a university or even a community college. I mean, I've seen community college, players play very well and hardly throw that many picks in a game. But yeah, after working with some sliders that I got from Operation Sports, shout out there to Matt Tin with his slider set, and a couple others that I was looking at. We finally found a slider set that I felt comfortable with, and I kind of tweaked myself to, make the game a little more aggressive when it comes to passing, but not so aggressive that they can just pick the ball, just by me even just dropping back and just look like I was going to pass. It's like, okay, well, that's going to be intercepted too. A lot of times it felt like that. So, but for the most part here, I really enjoyed playing the game here. Well, I was going to get to season 2 here very quickly, as we're kind of trying to wrap up this first year. And of course, you'll see the schedule here going into season 2. But there are some storylines here. Obviously, we got Avery and Bo, who are going to be a great 1-2 punch if we can hold them and keep them for another year. That's going to be very interesting. I think next season 2 we'll have a quarterback controversy, because I don't feel like we should keep Robinson there at the quarterback 1. I think I might want to start Singer more so here. So take a look here. Jarius Bolden, our Heisman Trophy winner, which it was unexpected. He is going to be going to the NFL, as he's projected as a first-round pick. I have the same thing for Overton, as he's a senior, so we can't persuade him, and neither can we do the other players there. Especially Redding, as he is a senior as well. He's projected 7th round, but I think he'll definitely be higher than that. I would say he should be at least a 5th round, maybe a 4th round guy, but for sure he shouldn't be dropping down to 7th. He's actually a pretty decent wide receiver there for us. For at least for us, we didn't throw the ball as much as we wanted to towards him, because he was always defended pretty well against opposing corners. So that's not much of a fair shake, but it is, I guess what it is. So he didn't put him that much, he wasn't a 1,000-yard receiver or anything like that, but for the most part he was pretty clutch in a lot of different especially on third downs and stuff like that for us. As you see here, Houston, this is going to be very interesting. Houston is going to be losing a lot of players. A few players going to the NFL, but majority of them are going to be graduating out. And then just take a look here. We got a couple of players here for Iowa State looking for brand exposure. Higgins, of all people here for the draft, he's going to be projected 7th round. Wow. I thought that he was pretty good. He had a pretty good season there. I thought he was kind of be up there in at least a 4th round guy. And then, of course, take a look at here at some of the KU players. A lot of them are transferring because of championship contender, and of course, brand exposure. Jalen Daniels, he's going to go to the NFL there. He's projected as a 2nd round, which is actually pretty decent there. And then, of course, Kobe Bryant, there you see projected 3rd round. He's going to be a corner. He's going to be a really good corner there. Somebody's going to really have going to have a really decent player that they can really mold to be a great. And then you got 3rd round draft pick here, possibly with Devin Neal. So congratulations to him. We'll see where he's going to be off to here. And then the next couple scenes here, we'll see him, the actual draft picks. Now, as for the draft for our Chicago Bears series, we are going to be using a draft class that I've used before, that we're currently using right now in our Jacksonville Jaguars series. If you guys know by this channel here on YouTube called Octavio Gaming, he does an excellent job with his draft classes. And I figured, for the first couple of seasons here, we'll kind of use those draft classes, and then eventually we'll kind of break off and just create our own, or just use the ones that Madden comes up with. But this, I will drop in some of the Highland Scotty players that I feel like do well, or the ones these are being projected. So the ones that you've seen here projected, and maybe possibly some others that will be kind of UFAs in the NFL, they'll be dropped in that draft class, and I'll let you guys know about that draft class. I'll drop that draft class here on the channel once we get done with the once we finish up the off season, or at least get into the off season of the Chicago Bears series here on the channel. So like I said, and of course I'm gonna put them probably somewhere those, I don't know, well, not necessarily be, I mean, with the exception of maybe a player or two, they'll be where they were projected at. But I'm basically going to go off by the kind of a combination of their projection and then what they're shown here, which we'll see here in a bit. Some of the players that are going to be drafted, and we'll see where some of those players are at. Of course, we're just kind of focusing on Big 12 players. But if you guys ever want a decent, good draft class, go to Octavio Gaming on his channel. I'll leave a link to the video that he talks about his draft class and how you can find it down below in the description there of the video. But yeah, he does some great work over there. He's by far one of my favorite YouTube content creators out there that I really enjoy watching, and kind of inspire to have same kind of content he does, or something similar to it. But his draft classes he does such a great job with realistic draft. Now, normally I don't really go that direction with draft classes. Usually I just, based off of I create my own, which we'll be doing here soon. Combination of, well, actually, now that I think about it, I will be, I am going to be throwing some of my own players there. So I guess in some ways it would be kind of a combination of his draft classes, but also my own. So I'll be changing some of the I'll keep some of the big name players in there that are in college football, but I'll take out some of the others, that are really, I think there's like, nah. We'll say they went out for another year or so. So, because one of the things I was really hoping for this year for this game was we would be able to move draft classes over to Madden, but with actually using real players and everything, that isn't going to work. So, I hopefully in this year's in College Football 26, hopefully maybe it's like maybe the first 4 or 5 years you can't use the draft class, but then maybe, you know, like going to year 6 you can use draft class, because by then, you know, all the players should be fictitious and whatnot. So I miss the old school, being able to port your player from the college football game to the Madden game and just, you know, go with those draft classes there. But you know, I guess times are changing, and you know, I guess the Madden doesn't really, or EA doesn't really care about that, but I do. I just, you know, at some point here, you know, I want to see guys that I've faced up against. Me personally, I, you know, create players on purpose to, you know, and I make them pretty decent, like a couple blue chippers, and kind of, you know, I don't necessarily go after them recruiting wise, but I let the computer pick them up, and then I try to go after, you know, go after those players by playing against them and see how they do, if they have to start that first year or having to start that second year of their career or whatever, because they got redshirt their freshman year. So I try to, you know, challenge myself that way, and you know, it really creates good storylines, because I already know stories about the players and all that. So that, you know, I miss doing that. That's just one of my favorite things to do when it comes to you know, draft classes, and because I can go and talk about it on Madden, because I'm like, oh, I played against this guy, I know what I did, you know, I done against him or them or whatever, and you know, and it just kind of just you know, continues the storyline out, you know, into the Madden games and then throughout their career in Madden. But to take a look here, we got the Utes here. Of course, like I said, there's a lot of schools here going to be, you know, definitely going to have to reload for next season, because we didn't lose too many people here. We're lucky enough that we were able to keep a few of our top players there for us. But as you see here, you know, Cameron Rising for Utah, who we had a really tough time with early on the season. He is going to be projected as a 6th round guy. And then their outside linebacker there, Reed, is also going to be projected. He's projected as a 6th round guy. And of course, now I'll go to West Virginia, take a look at their players as well. And like I said, you know, this is the thing. I mean, there are some things about this college football game I love, but then, like I said, there's other things that I just like. Man, I wish we had could move draft classes over. You know, obviously, Road to Glory has been a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying that on the second channel over there. It's been a lot of fun putting that together. And I already have ideas for another Road to Glory, especially with some of the rumored features they have in it. I have some ideas for that series if it, you know, happens to actually happen. But for the most part here, yeah, I am very happy that college football is back. But to me, it's just not back fully. There's some, they still need to tinker with some stuff here, and not, like I said, you know, I know we'll probably never get the transfer of players over from college football to Madden, but they need to find a way to get around that somehow, some way. So, you know, I don't care if I wish there was a feature where you could pick, you know, if you want to use the real life players or you want to use something that was already auto-generated from the computer. That would be fine with me. I don't, because me personally, you know, I create content. I rather have content where I can, you know, use based off something that's auto-generated and just come up with a storyline that way and put them in a Madden. So that's fine by me, you know. And of course, obviously, we can't rename those players in Madden, but or, you know, or if we could and just could use their likeness. That'd be fine with me. But yeah, I'm get off my soapbox here with that. But as we take a look here, some other players here that are leaving for the NFL or for college, or, you know, just, you know, graduating here. There's also a lot of players that are also transferring here, which, you know, for this first season, I'm going to try my best. You'll see here in a bit too that we're trying our best to get some players that we are looking at. Transfer window wise, because the transfer pool is going to be open, and we got an opportunity of hopefully to bring in some of those transfer guys that are looking for playing time. But obviously for us, we can't give too much playing time because, like I said, we have a lot of players that are going to be, you know, that are going to be. We'll have to pretty much put them on a red shirt, especially our freshmen that we're bringing in. because I really feel like we had a lot of players, or we didn't really have a big, exodus of players leaving. So with some of the players that we do have coming in, the playing time is going to be kind of limited. Of course, obviously you can play freshmen before they can still be redshirt, but they can play in at least 4 games. Now this year I didn't do so much of that, but next year we are going to be looking at that. So I will be a rotation of players that I want to kind of find out, okay, what freshman is going to work out for us, in those 4 game spans they can play in, because then after that, I got to redshirt them or keep them, or lift the red shirt off them and keep them, and that will obviously burn off a year of their eligibility. But I want to see how they can play. So when it comes to skill positions like wide receivers, halfbacks, tight ends, quarterbacks, and then even some linebackers and some defensive linemen there. I really want to see what we have for the future for this for our team here, because I want to keep the gravy train keep rolling. I'm not gonna lie. We want to try to get in the playoffs every year. That'll be great. Winning a national championship would even be even better, but realistically, probably not going to happen because there are teams that are just going to get the edge on us from time to time. With this, we're going to be evaluating a lot of the players here, and like I said, a lot of players will probably not necessarily get cut. Obviously, there's players here that we want to get rid of because they're just not doing really well, so we are going to make suggesting them to go ahead and just enter the transfer portal, so they may have a chance to play at maybe another school and get playing time, because we have a backlog of guys that are just, if we got a lot of guys that are, we got seniors, a couple juniors, and a couple of sophomores, and then we're bringing in a couple, obviously we need some freshmen as well. Some of those guys that are sophomores or juniors that are not really at par, we got to kind of just like, okay, we got to let you go. We got to kind of nudge you out and kind of suggest to go to the transfer portal and see what you can do there. And obviously, if we happen to, lose players because, a player decides that he wants to go pro or, go early to the NFL, then obviously we can look those players up again in the transfer portal, because those guys are always going to be sitting there, for the most part, if they haven't been signed. So, like I said, we got a lot of different ideas. So I want to do here. I do want to change the playbook a little bit, as we're looking right now at Cincinnati. And Cincinnati, wow, they got a lot of guys leaving here. A lot of good players here. A lot of guys that probably had another year on their another year of college with them. But looks like a lot of them are going to be, they got a lot of guys graduating as well. I got a few guys there going to the NFL. I got, Luke Kendra. He's going to be a 3rd round projection there. So a lot of big moves, a lot of big guys moving around, especially a guy like Travis Hunter, who is projected 1st round. Of course, Shiloh Sanders there going to go to project as a 1st round as well. So we'll have to see where they're going. Like I said, they will be a part of the Madness series there. Like I said, we drafted. We got a good class there that we're going to work with in the Chicago Bears series as well. And like I said, we're going to drop a couple of the Highland Scotties players there to help us out, see where they're going to go off to in their careers in football. But so far, because in that Chicago Bears series, we have not really talked about draft yet, but we will, be drafting from rough kind of from this draft class. Not every draft is, everybody's draft classes they create are kind of different based off what they project their team to, what the mock drafts say and all that kind of stuff. So, but as we take a look here, Colorado again losing a lot of players here for graduation purposes as well, which is a good sign. Coaches are going to have that good ratio of players coming in and players graduating, so hopefully that will help them out in recruiting. Obviously, that's one of the most important things there. If you are going to go to college, especially if you're being this long, you might as well go ahead and get that degree. and as a backdrop, and obviously a help you in the future there. So as you take a look here at the draft results, they say that Jarius Bolden went first round, Overton went second round, and Redding went fifth round. I'm kind of a little disappointed that Jalen Redding went fifth round, but okay. Higgins goes fifth round, Noel goes seventh round, and so does Freiler. Jalen Daniels goes second round in the draft, as well as his halfback there goes second round. Colby goes third round. Dotson goes fifth round. Grant goes sixth round, and Ford Jr. goes a seventh round left guard. So congratulations to those guys there. Of course, those are not official just yet because, like I said, we'll be in the Madden series there, and we'll see what they'll do in that. Austin Moore, the right outside linebacker there, the senior red shirt, he is going to go to the fourth round there. So that's the projection they have him, or at least a result for him. Ollie Gordon the second, junior halfback there, first round. Presley goes third round. Oliver, he goes third round as well. Owens, it looks like he is going to be a fourth round. And then Mike McKinsley, he is going to be sixth round center there. So congratulations to those guys, as they are going to hopefully have success there in the NFL. As for the Horned Frogs, Richardson, he goes seventh round. The wide receiver here, J.P. Richardson, for the Horned Frogs, 87 overall, from Missouri City, Texas. Excellent. It looks like a route runner there. As for Texas Tech, Brooks goes to the second round of the NFL draft. And then you got a fourth round and a fifth round there for them. So not bad at all. They got three guys going into the NFL this season. And of course, right now we're just looking at we're just in this episode here, we're just going to really just focus on the Big 12. Obviously, I will tell you just, some of the bigger names that that are, Ohio State guys, Michigan, Washington, all those kind of big schools there. Just know that those names that that did very well in real life and all that kind of stuff, yeah, they are going to be projected those first and second rounds there. But I didn't want to have them make the video any longer than what it is. So, but yeah, we'll take a look there. You see the Golden Knights. They're doing very well. Utah, they got quite a few players going themselves. Rising goes the fifth round. He was projected seventh round, but he's now the fifth round guy. And then you see their tight end. He's a fourth round. And then they got, besides Rising going fifth round, they have two others go. Reed goes fifth round. And then their wide receiver, Singer and Vaughn, are both sixth round guys. Singer, a wide receiver, and Vaughn, a corner for the Utes. So they got some pretty good guys there. Rising, I think he's going to be one of those players that he's going to be a good backup. I can see him leading a team in the NFL after year one, just holding the clipboard there and kind of learning the game and whatnot. I think he'll be a good starter at some point, maybe in the second year after his rookie season there. But then take a look here. You got the Mountaineers. They got a third round guy, left tackle there. Green, the quarterback for them, he's a fourth round, and Burks, the free safety senior, he is going to be a seventh round guy there. So pretty good opportunities there for those guys there, and hopefully we again wish them the best. See what they can do in the next level when it comes to the sports world, and hopefully they show off what they can do and be successful at it. But yeah, really good talent. As we move on now to Arizona, McMillan, the wide receiver. We of course had problems with him when we were playing against them early on this season. He's gonna be a first round guy, well deserved there, 94 overall. He's gonna be causing havoc there in the NFL. And then of course they have a right tackle going in the second round, as well as a corner in the second round. Baylor Bears have DeQuan Finn, quarterback there, seventh round guy. Again, that might be a sleeper for a team out there, doing some, helping us out and doing some things there. And then, of course, Travis Hunter, first round, going into the NFL draft, along with Sanders there as well. So we got a couple of guys here that we picked up here that have now actually committed here. We got Shrugs here, who's a guard, which a lot of these players you'll see here on this list are going to be either some type of offensive lineman, a guard, or a tackle for us, because that's what we desperately need. And we just need those players to help us out here. We got a quarterback here. Like I said, we got I would say a quarterback controversy, because I think, hearts of hearts, I think I really need to start Singer next season, as he is just a better overall player. Got a couple nice right tackle or right ends here, who's going to help us out, keep that stopping the rushing on the opposing teams here. Got a lot of 3-star guys committed. Richard Hector from McKinney, Texas. He is going to be committed to us there as a defensive tackle. So really trying to plug up those holes and try to get some depth in that position there for us on the defensive side of things. Miguel Devato, Gladwater, Texas, 3-star there for him. Jalen Harvey from Maryland, he's a 2-star guy. So again, a lot of 2-star, 3-star guys that can come in here and help us out with the depth of our team, and just kind of keep this this train rolling when it comes to those guys, to that position, and keep guys fresh. And obviously, when the game is out of reach for the opponent, and we can bring these guys in and get them a chance to get some get their feet wet in the pool and see what they can do. Also, we've got 2 quarterbacks that are coming in here, which I feel really good with, even though we don't need quarterbacks right now. But you never know with depending on how well these guys play. Some of these players might say, "Hey, coach, I'm going to go to the I'm leaving. I'm going to the NFL," or "Hey, I'm leaving. I'm going to the XFL," or something like that, or I should say the UFL. Or if I'm going to, I'm going to get a chance. I got a chance to play in Canada, for the CFL or something like that. So we're just trying to plug holes, trying to fill some depth for certain positions here, and we're going to try to do the same thing next year. I was really happy with a lot of the 3-star guys. Obviously, we just got done with the first season, so we're not going to get too much of attention to the 4-star guys, but. I think with another good season, if we can have another successful season, especially with individuals having breakout numbers, guys like Bo and Avery in the running game, hopefully that will get the offensive linemen fired up and ready to go. As you see here, we got a couple of players that did not want to sign with us, so we'll get rid of them off our board. But for the most part here, I think hopefully we get those halfbacks real excited. Like, oh man, they got a good blocking team. I want to go there and run for the coach and score touchdowns. And then we're also trying to work on the passing game as well. Trying to because we're a run first team, but in years past we've had some really great wide receivers. Also, we've had some excellent tight ends to help come in and help us out from our if you remember from the original series there. I can't even think of right now. I can't even think of the names off my top of my head, but there's been a lot of great tight ends that helped us out and win championships, and so things are starting to come together here. It's taking be a little slow about it, but once we get some of these players in here and start getting really things going here, and especially our defense has been. This year we did lose, obviously Julius Bolden and Overton, but there are guys there. I think we got a good crop of guys right now that has some playing experience. They're ready to take over that position and take over that now. They may not be able to fill those shoes as those guys there, but I think they're hungry for it. I think they're ready to go here, and we'll see how. There's going to be some games that they're going to have to deal with, because we're not going to be playing a loosey-goosey type schedule. I always try to keep a schedule that is, it makes sense for us. It's going to be a little challenging, but at the same time, it's going to be against teams that I know we're not going to get our, we may struggle, but we're not going to have too much of a struggle fest. At least ideally, it shouldn't be a struggle fest for us. I will say I am putting Texas A&M on the list. Matter of fact, I found out that we could play in week 1, and you'll see that here in just a bit. But I have plans on them, and like I said, we got some other historical football teams that I want to play against. We're going to get away from that now. I will say we will not play Notre Dame, because we played them way too much in the original series. Eventually, somewhere down the line, we'll play. We'll play against Notre Dame, but this year we're not going to do that. As for other schools, I have a couple of schools in mind that I wouldn't mind playing as and or playing against, because I think we haven't seen those schools just yet that we played against here. So I got an idea of where I want to play against some schools in the Pac-10, or obviously in the Pac-12. Once we get that reformed, because we are going to be at that reform, but it won't be this season; it'll be next season. Where if you guys don't know yet, but there's new schools that are entering the Pac-12, and we'll show you those schools next season. Obviously, if you already know who they are, you know who they are. But take a look here at the customize our conference. For the most part, here it's going to be just like it was for this first year. We're not going to change anything, with the exception of UMass and real life UMass. Actually, this the start of the 25 football season, they will be playing, I believe, in the conference, in the Mid-Atlantic, or not Mid-Atlantic, Mid-America, the MAC conference there. So they will be playing in that. As for conference, like I said, as for Conference USA right now, it's going to look for it like how it looks right there. If obviously in real life, they're going to have 2 new schools there. They're going to have, I believe, they're going to have Missouri State and Delaware next year in real life. Now, of course, be in next year's game. But this year we're not going to mess with it. But like I said, here you see we just did move UMass now from the Independence to Mid-America. So that's going to be a nice thing for them. Not going to have any divisions just yet. Of course, there's a rumor saying that UConn is supposed to be. There's talks about UConn football coming into the Big 12. If that happens to happen, then we'll definitely, when I find out for sure, we'll definitely put them in the Big 12. But for right now, we'll leave them as independents. Same thing with Notre Dame. There's been so many years now I've been wanting to put Notre Dame in the ACC, because I know they play. I want to say they play basketball in the ACC, or maybe that was just during the pandemic. But I know there's a lot of talk. I see other people do it. They put them in the ACC. Or some people are talking about putting them in the Big Ten. If you guys want to see them move, let me know. Let me know which conference you would like to see Notre Dame in. If you want them in a conference, or if you just want them to keep them as independent, it's fine by me. Obviously, the Mountain West is going to be drastically changed. There's going to be several schools that are going to be leaving. That I believe is Boise, Colorado State, Fresno State, Utah State, and UNLV, I think, are they going to be the schools that are going to be going to the Pac-12 next season. And obviously the Pac-12 has only 2 schools right now, which will be Oregon State and who's the other? What is the other school? Oregon and Washington State are the 2 schools there. Like I said, for this season right here in the 25-26 season, we're not going to make any changes of that. But when we get into the 26th season, which will be next start of season 3, then we'll definitely change it up and shake up the conference. And then, of course, SEC, we're not going to mess around with that at all. But there's always rumors talking about on the internet how Kentucky is probably going to be leaving. There was rumors. There was even a rumor saying that Vanderbilt would join the Big 12. They're rumors. We'll find out. But if you guys want to see those schools jump ship and go to the Big 12 or go to wherever, let me know down below and convince me. Convince me why they should be in that conference and whatnot. So as we wrap up here, getting close to wrapping up today's video, here's the schedule. We got want to get We're gonna head down to Kyle Field there to play in at College Station there with the number 4 ranked team Texas A&M. Then we're gonna have at home. Our first home game will be against ranked Syracuse. Right now they're ranked 23rd in the nation. Then we're on the road to Lane Stadium as we take on the Virginia Tech squad. Then we have a bye week in week 4, and then we play Liberty, which is our so-called rivalry game. We'll play against them. And then we have in week 6, it'll be the start of the Big 12 as we take on Houston, who has been hurting bad. That game we should be able to dominate very quickly. And then we have a bye week in week 7, and then we have Arizona we are at Arizona. KU comes to town. We'll go up to Iowa State, and then we play West Virginia. Then at Utah again this year. Wow, it's 2 years in a row at Utah for that. And then of course we play K-State at home to finish off the season. Here's your top 25 preseason rankings here. Obviously, we're in the top 10, which I like to see us there. Because we didn't really lose anybody during the offseason with a couple of, well, obviously we lost our Heisman Trophy player, but we didn't have a significant loss of players. Now that going into next season may be a different story. So that's why we're kind of preparing ourselves by bringing in so many players that we brought in this year. And like I said, a lot of them will be getting red-shirted, and we'll see how they come about. Also, too, here is the preseason first team for the All-Americans here. Obviously, we got a couple players here: Donovan Hardy, Quentin Dyson, one of our defensive linemen, and of course, I believe Robinson's on that list as well. And the question around here is Robinson going to make that start as the starting QB? For right now, yes, he is going to be. He's been looking pretty good during spring ball, and he's been trying to campaign to keep that spot there as the number 1 QB1 with us. But at the same time, he's kind of on the fence. He's on an audition period right now because if he can't play the way we want him to play and be successful at doing it and having fun doing it, then it will be Singer. That will probably be our guy for the remainder of the season there. So I don't want to do just keep swapping him out like we did last year. He's got to play well. He's got to be able to read well when it comes to the defense and just make smart plays and be accurate with his passes. Here you see the Big 12's preseason first team there. Of course, obviously a lot of the Highland Scotties players are going to be on this, as a lot of, like I said, we brought back a lot of our offense from last season. I'm hoping we'll be better. I'm not saying we're going to be lights out. We're going to be blowing teams out, because we will have some battles here. Obviously, the Big 12 is known for not playing really good defense. But we're trying to, at least for here at Highland, we're trying to change that. So we're not going to try to get into too many big, huge, these back and forth games of, trading touchdowns like that. Our job here this year is to play some solid defense and if not shut out the other team, but just slow down the other team as much as we possibly can, and have our offense try to score as often as they possibly can. So there you see, that's pretty much the off season here. It's like I said, we have some pretty good players that come in here. I'm really excited about a good majority of them. Obviously, they're not blue chippers. They're not number one. They're not the top top 10 guys from each position throughout the nation. But there are guys here that have that they have that fight mentality. They're going to come in here. They're going to do their best, and they're going to put on. Try to put on a good show here, and try to bring victories and try to get us back to the 12-team playoff for this season. And I feel really confident with a lot of those players there. And of course, I'm hoping, like I said, we're working with a new offense, and a slightly new offense, and then we're kind of changing the defense up some, and a little bit more different defensive scheme. I think we should have a successful season, and I think a lot of teams are going to be, we're going to be like, damn, this Highland squad is good. Like, they're legitimate good. No wonder they were in the position that they were in last year, and now even gotten better. So, and of course, other teams are going to be trying to do the same thing as well. And like I said, we're going to have a good challenge here, I think, this year. I think a lot of this quote-unquote South teams, Oklahoma State, all those kind of teams there. I don't think we play Oklahoma State this year, but some of the South teams that we like Arizona State, stuff like that, they're going to be a good challenge for us. And I cannot wait to see how that goes, because like last year we played them. We kind of didn't know what they were doing, but now since we've got a good year underneath our belt, we have an idea what schemes are running on offense and defense, and I think we'll be successful. But that's it for this episode of the Highland Scotties Team Builder Dynasty here on the channel. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you happen to be new. And of course, if you got any questions, concerns, or anything you guys want to help out with to make the team better and stronger, let me know down below in the comment section, and I will definitely come back with some kind of something back. I'll reply back to you guys on those those issues that we had for our team. We do have some issues, but we can't iron them all out. It's going to take some time, and we'll see how things go. But that's it for me. Scotty Nation, get ready for season 2. It's coming up very quickly here as we take on A&M. But of course, we got to get rid of this bye week. So we'll get to week 1 coming up here very soon. As always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you all next time.